And, of course, that's about it.
All on CRN. Don't miss it. Welcome to the Sports Lounge here from CRN Digital Talk Radio. It's our weekly sports get together. We're talking the politics of sports. I'm your host, Michael Horn, but I'm not the star of the show. The star of the program is this gentleman I'm about to bring into you, the all-pro defensive end, played with the Rams, played with the New York Giants, the acting legend, the one and only Mr. Fred Dryer.
You know, that's one of the great things you get right every week, that I am the star of the show.
What? I'm sorry, something happened to my headsets. They're not working a little bit.
I think
Did I introduce you?
You just pull the plug and then replug it.
Put it back in again. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here hosting the show, but the star of our program is the one and only Fred Dryer.
Thanks so very much. Great to be with you. There's so much going on. We have our great producers today got together and put together
this is our best
and
show yet.
captured the sentiment of what's been going on here in this last week, this last couple of days, and we have a stack of notes here. There's just really interesting things. As I've always said, and I don't want to dine out on this, but I will always say this, that many years ago, Mike, you and I used to do a show about politics, and then we got out of it, and we decided to talk about the politics of sport.
That's correct.
And we're one of the only shows that successfully, I think, does that fairly. And we take all the topics because they're right here. Everything that we want to know about what's going on in sports that has a political slant to it.
This is so well produced. Our sports director, Tyler Root, by the way,
thank you.
He is into the politics of sports. This week alone, he's been a Democrat, he's been a Republican, and he's currently now become an independent. So we have all sides represented.
Is he transgender? That's what I want to know.
No, he's a trans Republican, Democrat, independent.
He's a hybrid.
Yeah.
It's a hyphenate.
It's your DRI.
So here's the deal. We've got an awful lot of things to discuss with you about a lot of different things, and they're on the verge of being so preposterous. They're wonderful, which is what I think the liberal politic has always done.
Cannot believe our show today. There's a lot of stuff with it. By the way, how is your website going? Because you and I have to apologize right up front. I have not seen your movie yet, but I do promise you, as I did last week, I will watch the movie because everybody's going nuts on the social media here. They're all talking about it. This is great, your website.
Well, we're doing our due diligence of organizing it and getting it out there. It takes time to do that, but I had one guy tweet me and say, "Enough, Fred. I'm tired of seeing your advertisement."
No,
Enough.
It's good. We're running it on the air. It's freddryer.co.
Yeah, that's right. And the people are really responding. We just did a real nice Facebook release today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and
who
we
helped
talked
you with
about
that?
What? Jose.
Jose was doing that.
Yeah,
with you.
Jose helped us greatly.
Jose's the greatest.
Nikki's on hiatus, and so we had a great day on the Facebook talking about the show and talking about what you and I do here, talking a lot about the response to the movie and all these types of things. So we greatly appreciate your listenership and certainly your patronage for the movie Highway 395.
Now we have crntalk.com, but Fred has his own website because he doesn't trust ours, although we do have a link to it right from our website at crntalk.com. You can go directly to Fred's site at Fred. That's F-R-E-D. There's your Fred, your Dryer, D-R-Y. There's your Dry,
Yeah,
E-R.
you just put them together like that.
Put it together. It's your freddryer.co. C-O. And there's lots of stuff up there. There's like his movie, Highway 395, is there for you.
The music's the soundtrack to the movie.
There's old jerseys that he's worn and never washed. You can bid on those. Or did
Picture of Tommy Prothero smoking on the sideline.
It's all there. Seriously, it's great stuff. So check it out, freddryer.co. We'll be right back. Fred Dryer and I want to tell you about Blue Apron. This is a way you can really cook with the right kind of foods, right? They send all this to your home, don't they, Fred?
Yeah, yes, they do. And they knock on your door, and you open it up, and there's a bunch of food in there. You can just go to your kitchen and cook it up.
It's fresh. It's guaranteed to be fresh, and they have so many great food ideas and food meals together. And you can listen to this, you can get this week's menu, your first 3 meals absolutely free and free shipping if you go to blueapron.com/dryer, DRYER. You've got your apron on. Are you going to be doing some cooking tonight?
Yeah, I've got 2 aprons. One's in the dry cleaners, and I got one home in the laundry, but I'm ready to roll.
You're going to love how this Blue Apron, how the food tastes, how it feels. You go to blueapron.com/dryer, and that's Blue Apron. They send the food right to your house. Remember, you get your first 3 meals free with free shipping if you go to the website blueapron.com/dryer, DRYER. Welcome back here to the Sports Lounge. I am Michael Horn, along with the star of the show, the one and only Fred Dryer. Our sports director, Tyler Roop, is with us. And I just start the show off that, unfortunately, I am going to be leaving the show. And I just wanted to make that announcement now. Apparently, I don't know if you've been reading the papers over the weekend, but for some reason, I've been taken out of the show and assigned to a different program. Much the same way as a good friend of mine, I understand I'm being replaced by him, Robert Lee from ESPN is going to be taking over my position. He was supposed to be covering sideline football, but apparently he's been hired to take over the show here. So, Fred, it's been great working with you.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, apparently, do we have Robert Lee on the phone, Tyler? Is that correct? Is he?
That's a crazy ball game,
Okay.
let me tell you.
Let's say, so, Robert, you're going to be coming in here a little. Now, Robert,
Holy smoke.
you were confused. Apparently, Robert, there was confusion because ESPN, which is owned by Disney, has moved you from the Charlotte game that you're going to be covering on the sidelines there, and you moved to like Ohio or something. Is that correct?
That's right.
So, how did they confuse you with the general from the South, General Robert E. Lee, when you're just Robert Lee?
I don't know. They do that. That's a politic that do that to me.
Now, you sound similar because I've heard that Robert E. Lee had the same kind of panter there that you have in there. So a little confusion possibly. Disney, are you happy that you're changing to a different location?
No, I'm going to sue these guys, boy. Let me tell you that.
Okay, good. All right, thank you. And then we'll be looking for you to joining the show next week. You'll be working with Fred. Any words to
That's
Fred?
the first time if I ever seen one.
Do you have any words of welcome or advice for Fred since you're going to be working with him next?
Touchdown.
What's that?
Touchdown.
Oh, apparently you're calling a game already. I didn't know we had you on your cell phone.
I'm getting ready, Joe.
Apparently Mr. Lee is like, okay, well, we'll let you go then. We're sorry to know you're doing the game.
Okay.
Okay. Apparently that's one of the big stories that ESPN has transferred this genuine Asian sports. It's hard enough to get a job in radio to begin with, let alone, stuff for minorities. And here comes this Asian guy who's a qualified sports reporter. He's being transferred because they thought there'd be confusion with those of the people in North Carolina that worried about Robert Lee just by his name.
Great grandfather.
Oh, still got him on the line. He is your grandfather?
He has a white horse that he shot so many Yankees.
Okay. All right, okay, that's good. Go back to your game. I think they're lining up. It's after the commercial break.
That's the first time if I've ever seen one.
Robert Lee, ladies and gentlemen, joining us here. Oh. That was politically correct to have him on the show.
What bus do I get in?
You anyone you want. Sit in the front of the bus, just relax and take it easy, okay? Thank you.
A motorcycle. I drive to my next game.
Okay. Drive my motorcycle? That's good. You kind of look like your grandfather because when you ride on the motorcycle, you kind of raise it up in the front. When
I would do wheelie all the way to Virginia.
Okay. Robert Lee. Thank you for being with us, Robert.
Oh.
I hung up on him. All right, back here to the show then again. So apparently you'll be working with him, Fred, next week on the show.
I look forward to it.
That's good. I'm sure you will be doing that. Now, the NAACP has gotten involved in this Colin Kaepernick thing. Not only is the guy a terrible quarterback, okay, he got the 49ers to the Super Bowl one time, and then he was stunk from that point to today. The guy's a terrible quarterback. But apparently the NAACP is saying that they've actually contacted the NFL commissioner there to discuss Colin Kaepernick because he's refusing to stand for the national anthem, and his supporters, including a lot who plan to protest at the NFL headquarters in New York City, say he's being blackballed because of his advocacy, and the NAACP wanted to join that rally, and so that's what's going on. So, Fred, your thoughts on this? Because
oh gosh, well,
where do we start?
This is a fastball. Mm-hmm. It's a different sport.
Yeah,
that's a fastball right down the middle of the plate.
Yeah,
this is where the liberal politic meets the road, and this is the NAACP, a racist organization based on race primarily, has decided to shake down Roger Goodell. I'm surprised, Jesse Jackson or what's Al Sharpton hasn't been mentioned.
They will.
Are surfaced in this.
They'll get into it.
But the point is that this is a racist structured meeting. This isn't Kaepernick or his attorney saying, I want to talk to you about my political beliefs. This is a organization that is now, just in its very nature of entering into this fray, accusing the National Football League of making and depriving Kaepernick of his constitutional rights because he's black. And that's the subtext of all this stuff. You're doing it because I'm black. And the league apparently is they're I don't know if they're going to actually take this meeting. They called for a meeting with the NFL to discuss the fate of. Look at. I got fired in 1981. I didn't get my attorney and go to the.
You did not.
To Pete Rozelle and say, I want to talk to you about them firing me. That's all a part of it. Colin Kaepernick is not in the league not because he's black. He's in the league because he doesn't have the skills necessary to play the position of quarterback, given the structure of most of these teams.
But wait a second. He had 1 year on his contract to go. He walked away from it because he wanted to sample free agency, thinking, since he hadn't really played well for the last 3 years, that somebody's going to offer him more money. Nobody did. And now he has no deal with the 49ers because he walked away with it, and no one's going for him. Now, you played in the NFL a long time. All this crap that's going out, if the guy was a great quarterback, they're considering Johnny Manziel as a coach in some areas they'd go for it, right?
Yes, forgive me. But the league is 75% black. Do you mean to tell me that there are people in the National Football League still making decisions on people because of their skin color?
Absolutely
that they are prejudiced against this guy being on a team? But wait a minute.
Yeah.
But they're making that assertion. The NAACP is telling the American people and telling the league this is a racist problem now. And no, it's not. This is a skill problem. And here's the other thing. When it comes down to you exercising your rights as a human being,
right,
you can do whatever you want to do. But what hasn't been talked about here, and this is a perfect opportunity for somebody in the league, like the owner of the San Francisco 49ers, to stand up and say, Colin is who he is. He can do what he chooses to do on his own time. I resent a paid employee showing up on game day and using my organization and the National Football League and a national broadcast as a platform for his personal politics. That will get you fired on most places. So this is about him co-opting the moment and saying, I'm going to put this game secondary to my political beliefs. And when they talk to him after the game is over, he can't even articulate his thoughts. This guy is a nightmare. Now he's going to come back and say, hey, I walked away from a contract that I was eventually going to be released on, but I don't have a job. So now I'm going to say, if you don't give me a job, I'm going to claim it's racism. And that's what he's doing.
Let's hope Roger Goodell stands strong at the NFL headquarters. We'll continue straight ahead. More on this straight ahead. It's the Sports Lounge with the one and only Fred Dreyer. You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Hi, friends. This is Larry Minetti. Go to LarryMinetti.com to get my book, Aloha Magnum. You'll read all about the wonderful guest stars like Carol Burnett, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and many, many more. There is an episode guide and my favorite recipes that I really cook at home. I will include a free signed photo with every book. Get Aloha Magnum at LarryMinetti.com. Order now. Aloha.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit innatlagunabeach.com.
Introducing the Money Call Sweepstakes. It's your chance by listening to this station to win $500 every week. And all you need to do to enter our contest is call the toll-free number we're about to give you. Call in right now and listen for how you can get a bonus entry to double your chances. Call now and enter to win big money. 800-958-6978. 800-958-6978. That's 800-958-6978.
Back in the sports lounge. Sad day for me. I'll be leaving because we've hired Robert Lee, who apparently ESPN is shifting around places because they're afraid people may confuse him with General Robert E. Lee. Do we have him back on the line, Tyler? Do we have him?
Yeah, I think we do.
You got him back on the air. How do you like the show so far there, Robert Lee?
Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah. So far, do you like Fred's comments on the NFL?
That guy right on the money.
Good.
That's a touchdown if I ever saw one.
Okay, I know. You're calling the game right. Touchdown. All right, so that's good. Thanks for being with us here today on the show.
Gee whiz.
Now, continuing, Fred, with the whole Colin Kaepernick kneeling and the NAACP and all that. So apparently, Jerry Jones now, he is, listen to this guy. He says he likes the way the Cowboys do it. That's a quote. He says, no Dallas Cowboys player has participated in a protest during the national anthem yet, and that's just how he likes it. He said he's against any kind of demonstration during the playing of the Star Spangled Banner. He says players from other teams have continued protesting during the current season, but the Cowboys haven't been participating. Here's his quote. I just feel so strongly that the act of recognizing the flag is a salute to our country and all the people that have sacrificed so that we can have the liberties we have. So he was on the 105.3 The Fan in Dallas, and he says he feels strongly that everyone should save that moment for the recognition of the flag in a positive way. This is my new team I'm rooting for this year, the Dallas Cowboys.
This guy's a good guy.
Didn't know. I wanted Fred's comments, but apparently we got yours there.
Yeah, who am I now?
Yeah, you're Fred.
I'm Fred now.
Yeah, Fred.
So Robert Lee is not here now.
No, he's back to the football game. So what do you think of this? Jerry Jones finally came out with what you said the owner of the 49ers should be saying.
Well, where's the leadership of the league, by the by? It's right here with Jerry.
Yeah.
He's the big dog. He and Kraft and all these guys are with Jerry Richardson's perhaps. I don't know why him, but I mean I think his name comes up all the time. They're the forerunners. They're the people that should be setting the tone for this type of stuff. And I'd like to hear him what he has to say about this about the Kaepernick and the NAACP going to Goodell. And shaking them down about why he doesn't have a job.
So here's the thing. Another study was out. There's a study this week that says sports bars' foot traffic on Sundays dropped a huge amount, 13% in cities without NFL teams and 12% in cities that had an NFL team last season. That's 2016 from 2015. I think a lot of this is due to this kneeling kind of stuff that's going on. I think people are fed up with it.
It's the politic, folks. It's just like what the American people have done about repudiating Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and liberalism and all this fascism and the lying that goes on in the mainstream media and the incompetence. People are fed up with it. They want someone that talks like them and addresses them. They want someone like Jerry Jones and Donald Trump and whoever else is out there that stands up and talks about the truth of the issues. And this is just very clear. Cowboys, look, when you get a lot of money, you people out there who are concerned about blacks being enslaved in American sports. These people are special people, and they get a lot of money because they deserve to get a lot of money. That's the nature of the sport. But don't turn around and cash your check and then turn right around and say I'm a racist for hiring a black guy. This is a joke. Jerry Jones wants people to stand up and be a man and say, this is
the country.
My boss, the league, the boss that I work for believes in this, so I'm going to go along with that. You want to ask me outside off the court, outside the football stadium, about what I think about the American flag and America and everybody else, I'll tell you.
What about was it Seattle where the one guy was kneeling and then some other guy's touching him on the shoulder?
That guy, yeah. This guy's sitting on the
kneeling during the anthem.
Kneeling during the anthem, and this white guy Britt walks up to him and stands next to him and puts his hand on his shoulder in support. Well, I sent a guy an email. I just said, why is he doing that? Why don't you just kneel down next to him?
If you support him, kneel with him, right?
Yeah. What is this?
Why would you stand in touch? If you either support him, kneel with him. If you don't, stand up for the national anthem.
Yeah. Well, this politics, this political correctness is reaching such a critical mass that people, I'm telling you, are just going to walk away from everything. They walked away from the Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton, who everybody thought was a shoo-in. But here we have pro football that has tremendous ratings and everybody loves the sport and they like everything about it except for this stuff. And the more they get into this stuff, the more you're going to have a chance for people walking away from it.
Fewer people going to be watching NFL games. We'll see if it goes down again this year. I think people are a little disgusted by it.
A little, to say the least.
First place, sports is a way to escape politics of the day. So why bring politics into the sporting world when you're there to watch a game and just watch two teams go at it and have a good time and relax?
In 1962, I'll say this very quickly. 1962, my uncle took me. My Uncle Rule was a Hawthorne police officer.
Yep.
Took me to see the Angels in 1962, and I went to Wrigley Field, and we sat there in silence watching a baseball game. It was great.
You didn't kneel?
I didn't kneel.
Okay, good. I like that story. We'll continue straight ahead. It's the Sports Lounge with Fred Dreyer.
This is the Mungle on Movies. I'm Matt Mungle. The PG animated film Leap hits theaters August the 25th. Kate McKinnon voices 3 characters in this one and talks about how Saturday Night Live helped with that dynamic.
My main job is working on Saturday Night Live, where I play a bunch of different characters every week, and that's really what I love to do the most. So, you pick a different voice for everyone and you just go with it. It's not that hard. That's the secret.
For reviews, interviews, and more, go to mungleshow.com or follow me on Twitter @TheMungle.
Fred Dreyer, I want to tell you about Blue Apron. This is a way you can really cook with the right kind of foods, right? They send all this to your home, don't they, Fred?
Yeah, yes, they do. And they knock on your door, and you open it up, and there's a bunch of food in there. You can just go to your kitchen and cook it up.
It's fresh. It's guaranteed to be fresh, and they have so many great food ideas and food meals together. And you can listen to this, you can get this week's menu, your first 3 meals absolutely free, and free shipping if you go to blueapron.com/dryer, DRYER. You've got your apron on. Are you going to be doing some cooking tonight?
Yeah, I've got 2 aprons. One's in the dry cleaners, and I got one home in the laundry, but I'm ready to roll.
You're going to love how this Blue Apron, how the food tastes, how it feels. You go to blueapron.com/dryer, and that's Blue Apron. They send the food right to your house. Remember, you get your first 3 meals free with free shipping if you go to the website blueapron.com/dryer, DRYER.
Hey there! Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you could make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? It's true. According to the 2012 U.S. Census Bureau, college grads with a bachelor's degree make almost twice as much as high school grads. Now, going back to school is easier than ever at Independence University. Log on and complete coursework from the park, or the beach, or even your couch watching the kids. And Independence University gives you the tools, a free tablet and laptop for undergrad students to use and keep when they graduate. That's right, get a laptop so you can go to college from anywhere. Take the first step to a new career in business, information technology, healthcare, or graphic arts. Call to find the online degree program that's right for you, and you could be on your way to increasing your earning potential.
800-989-1361. 800-989-1361. That's 800-989-1361.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. With a call to National Tax Helpline, you can stop the wage garnishments, levies, and tax liens now. Once you've qualified and enrolled, the IRS will stop all the collection activities against you. These unique programs have been allocated to help the economy and significantly reduce or eliminate your tax burden. The IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more, call now for free information and to see if you qualify. Take down the number now for the Tax Helpline, 800-565-7933. That's 800-565-7933 for free information. 800-565-7933. That's 800-565-7933.
This is Bill's yard, and Bill's a grill master, not a grass expert. Still, no weeds belong in this backyard barbecue kingdom. And with Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, Bill's greasy thumb is just as good as a green thumb. Because Scott's thickens lawns to help crowd out over 50 pesky weeds. So Bill can defeat invaders, green up his lawn, and hold his spatula high. This is a Scott's yard. Pick up Scott's Weed and Feed today.
Welcome back to the Sports Lounge. Don't forget Fred Dryer available for you here. You can follow him on Twitter, Fred_Dryer, Facebook.com/TheRealFred Dryer. Email him, FredDryer@CRNTalk.com, and his new website, FredDryer.co. Here he is, Fred Dryer.
Thank you so very much, and great to be with you here.
We got the story here. Yeah, go ahead. You want to talk about this, the preseason stuff?
Well, it's interesting now that the players, are complaining that they're going to strike in the year 2021.
Oh, yeah, that's a big story.
They're going to strike I'm just going to lead up to the one you wanted to talk about.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
They're going to strike in 2021 because, they're going to throw a tantrum, and so they're saber rattling. And I always say it's always too soon to do that. Because nobody ever tears up a contract with 2 years left on a collective bargaining agreement. They just don't do it. So, but the other thing else is that there's this thing that's always been hanging over negotiations, and that is the owners want to have 18 games. They want to expand. They want to have original games, and the players want to get rid of that. They don't want to even play preseason games. So they're now complaining that Beckham, he gets his ankle hurt.
Odell Beckham
Beckham for the Giants in a Cleveland game, and gets his ankle hurt.
He's
and,
taking out insurance,
Yeah, he's taking out insurance, which is not a bad idea.
He wants to take out if he doesn't get his contract extension. He wants.
What's
insurance.
the premium? How much is the premium?
$100 million in injury protection.
But how much is the premium he has to pay for?
I don't know. He's around six. Let's see. The new deal would cost him about $600,000 for the premium, I guess. The new deal this offseason would. He has 2 years left on his rookie deal, thanks to the Giants exercising his fifth-year option, but it doesn't say what the premium would be.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's probably astronomical.
Yeah, it would be. So here's some changes. They're saying now that the NFL, because of Odell Beckham, as you mentioned, they're saying some suggestions have been made as to what to do so there aren't as many injuries in the preseason games. The first, and I want your comments on this, Frederick, as you play the game, wrap tackling only. Wrapping yourself around, so you're not,
it should be. It should be teaching of the proper fundamentals and skills of tackling.
I knew you were going to say that.
That's what it is.
It should be that. It should be taught, and that's not being taught at all.
Nothing's
right?
being taught.
Nothing's being taught. Okay, so designated playing times. They wanted to have, like, if players are competing for roster spots, they'd be forced to play. The guys like the veterans that have more time would go up against veterans. The rookies would go up against rookies. So they didn't match players with how much playing time.
I understand, but here's the problem.
Yes.
Only coaches can make that decision. If you're going to play contact football, you're going to get $25 million a year.
Yes.
You're going to do what they tell you to do. You're going to play against who you tell them to do. And the other thing else is what's wrong with all of this is it's being mandated as a rule. All of these decisions should come out of common sense and reason. If you're a coach and a guy comes up to you and says, "My ankle's a little sore," I say, "Just stay out." That's how it works.
Gotcha.
You don't have to have the league get a book and say, you've only played 6 minutes in the preseason, so you got to play another 8 minutes today. So you can't institutionalize these changes. This is common sense stuff. It's like saying let's make not listening to the radio when you're in the right hand lane with your blinker on. They
want to rule everything.
This is just stupid.
And then they also say limited snap counts in preseason games. How can that help you with a limited snap count?
Well, it can't because it's made by bureaucrats, and this is just total BS.
How would you fix it then? You would actually teach the fundamentals, right?
Yes. What you do is you tell the people in collective bargaining, which I think they should do. If DeMaurice Smith is going to saber rattle, it's okay. Here's what we're going to do. We'll go back right now and redo the contract. We won't wait for another 2 years to go by. Let's renegotiate this in the offseason. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back and we're going to redo everything that you negotiated as players out of the contract, which means a limited time, no contact, no practices, no contact with any other team until the games start. I can only play 1 quarter of a preseason game. They so gave away the sport for the sake of promising they wouldn't strike. They asked Gene Upshaw, Gene, we'll give you 53% of the TV money if you promise not to strike. He said, okay. He went back to the Players Association, went back to the 32 player representatives,
right,
and say, we're going to give you the money. You're going to get the money. That's what we're going to give you. But you're not going to strike. You have no bitches, no gripes, no complaints. They said, yeah, fine, give us the money. So they sold everything out. And the players said, not only will we do that, here's what you're going to give us in return if we promise not to strike. If we promise not to shut things down.
Right.
We don't want all of these issues. We don't want all of this stuff. You're going to give us the things that we want, and we don't want to hit. We don't want to play tackle. We don't want to do anything, and we have 1-a-day practices. We're in shorts the whole time. We don't want to do anything. And so they said, yeah, fine. And what that did was, over the last course of 5 to 10 years, is destroy the integrity of the game. It made it more violent. It made it more susceptible to injury. And you have players who don't have the fundamental skills of knowing how to tackle.
Exactly.
And you're going to get big-time injuries this year because that's the way the sport is.
Because they cut it down that way, right?
That's the way it is. But you're also going to have the impending concussion problem because nobody knows how to tackle because they decided they didn't want to be taught how to tackle.
There you have it, the words of Fred Dryer. Now, you can follow up on that, make some comments if you wanted to him. Again, we've mentioned he's got his new website, freddryer.co, FREDDRYER.co. But you can follow him on Twitter, and he tweets all the time, and there's a lot of stuff over there. Follow him, Fred_Dryer. That's FRED_DRYER. Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dryer. And don't forget, we read the emails on the show every week, and you have a good time doing that. So send him an email. His email address is freddryer@crntalk.com. freddryer@crntalk.com. Give us your thoughts and get him out there and make sure he goes with it. So there's been a lot. Yeah, I saw that. There's some interesting stuff. We have a woman who's a coach there. The first gay coaches in the NFL now.
49ers. And now,
49ers. Katie Sowers
now we're
is there.
using pro football, just like the military, as a launching pad for politics.
Yeah, well, and these are the stories. Listen, Tyler, our sports director, produced the show. These are the stories that come up as the top stories. It's not about whether this guy can win this, do this, whatever. It's all about the politics of football these days. I'm sorry. You got the Browns tight end Seth DeValve he's now the first white guy that's going to go with protester Michael Bennett on the one of the Cleveland players to kneel during the beginning of the game.
See, they admit
That's a story.
They admit it's a racial breakdown.
That's it. My question is, do all African Americans kneel during the Star Spangled Banner? Because if they do, I'm going to join them and show solidarity. I didn't know that. I'm going to have to check the stands. I haven't been to a game in years.
Colonel Sanders from KFC here to talk about the good old days. Well, the good old days are still here in chicken form. Specifically, in KFC's original recipe fried chicken with 11 herbs and spices. Our delicious chicken is still hand-breaded and pressure-fried just like it was then. Get your fill with 2 pieces of my original recipe in a $5 fill-up with mashed potatoes, a biscuit, a cookie, and a drink at a KFC near you. KFC, it's still finger-licking good. At participating KFCs, prices may vary, tax extra.
With free next-day delivery from Staples, you can run your business like a pro. You can guarantee the marketing department that they'll get their supplies tomorrow and guarantee the accounting department that they'll be delivered free. With free next-day delivery, you'll have the ability to move deadlines up and adjust budgets down. Go to staples.com and get the office essentials you need delivered next day for free. Staples. It's pro time. Orders over $49.99 placed by 5 p.m. Excludes weekends and holidays. Eligible items only.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
We are back in the Sports Lounge. I'm Michael Horn, along with the star of our show, the Sultan. 2 safeties in 1 game in the same quarter. The all-pro defensive end, the acting legend, one and only Fred Dryer.
And Robert Lee, too.
And Robert Lee is here from ESPN with us today. We teamed you, by the way, Robert Lee, in a training session. We're going to put you on a new show along with our good friend Colonel Sanders.
Oh, I love Colonel Sanders. What a guy.
Thanks to Tyler.
What a
Roper.
guy.
That's good. Just keep throwing those out for us, Tyler, will you? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Love that chicken.
Yeah, that's good. All right, let's get into some baseball here, Fred. We got a lot of stories here happening in the baseball world. So this whole thing with these umpires, apparently the Blue Jays' Kevin Pillar left the Tuesday game with the Tampa Bay Rays after just 1 at bat. He didn't think he did anything wrong. He's a center fielder for Toronto. He's ejected in the top of the 3rd inning. He said something to the home plate umpire Chad Fairchild, and he was back.
Chad is the name of an
Chad,
umpire?
Yeah, they used to be
What
Augie
about
Donatelli.
Augie Donatelli?
Yeah, that's right. Jocko
Joe
Conlon.
West.
Jocko Conlon, those guys.
We're gonna
this
get,
guy's Chad. I'm Chad Fairchild. Let me call the game.
The next
Call
step
me
down
Chad.
from Chad is Betty.
So Chad Fairchild Sounds like he should be starring in Medical Center or something. Anyway, so Pilar was going back to the dugout following a ground out, and he expressed displeasure with a strike call. And he told us to the Toronto Sun newspaper, he said, all I said was the first pitch was terrible. That was it. I didn't raise my voice, didn't use any profanity, didn't cause a scene. I think I've been through a lot this year. I've understood how to know the power of words and how people could be offended by it. Yeah, say that again.
Oh.
He said, I just felt like I offered my opinion. So it was shocking to me, Pilar says. It's just a different time in baseball. He gets tossed out of the game just because he questioned what he said to the umpire.
Oh, I tell you what.
I wanted Fred's comments on this, Robert Lee. And, but what do you, as long as you're talking about it, go ahead.
Well, that guy.
Yes?
That umpire don't know what he's talking about, brother.
Okay. Glad you're on our side. You're going to enjoy the show. So, now they've got, they're talking about in the future they might have like a Skynet service where they get rid of the umpires and they're going to use machines to call the games. The commissioner of baseball, Rob Manfred, said the owners have to talk about this. He said there's a separate question on whether you want to take the human element of a home plate umpire out of the game. That's what Manfred was saying. He said when the technology gets there, I'm sure the owners will have a conversation on whether they want to make the additional move of taking human contact out of the game. I don't know. The umpires have I think they're out of control. What do you think?
What?
Robert, I'm talking to Fred. Fred, what do you think about this umpire thing?
Hey, Robert, get out of here. Will you?
Just sit down for a while.
This is my show. You're screwing up my show.
I get yelled at whenever I take over the show,
Exactly.
Robert. Take it easy.
Just
Fred's
set
going
a
to get
standard
angry.
here. I'll talk to you later. Okay.
All right, now, the World Umpires Association, they ceased their protest because I guess Rob Manfred has agreed to a meeting with the umpires. You know, there was the Ian Kinsler and Angel Hernandez problem when Hernandez, I guess Kinsler said that Hernandez should find a new line of work. Kinsler was fined $10,000 for his comments. So Manfred's kind of on the side, I think, of the players, that he doesn't think players are more abusive now than in the past.
You can't have a meeting. You just got to stand up and tell people, this is what we're doing, and shut up and play ball. That's what you do.
Yeah. I mean,
stop whining and BSing.
But for the umpires, too, because you can complain. I mean, if you make a comment that's kind of funny, I think the umpires are a little too serious these days. You know, somebody can go ahead and say, hey, I didn't like that call. He didn't say, hey, stupid idiot, I didn't like that call. Then you can toss them if you're abusive, but they just made a comment.
I think you should put him in some sort of a television concentration camp.
I don't know if I like that comment. I think Robert Lee might have a better comment than that. Robert, what do you think?
Oh, it's a touchy subject.
Okay, thank you. Now, Justin Turner, they call him, he's got that red beard over there, the Red Dream. He's made a comment now. By the way, did you see, I believe it was on Twitter, they had, during the eclipse this last week, they had Justin Turner standing behind him. They said this is just a joke for the eclipse. But Yasiel Puig passed in front of Justin Turner and then stopped right in the middle and blocked out Justin Turner, then continued to move. Did you see that? It was pretty good.
That's good.
It was a good one. They're having some fun on the Dodgers. So here's the thing. Justin Turner, he hasn't shaved at all, and he's thinking of trimming his red beard. That's what his signature. He says if the Dodgers win the World Series, he might trim it, get rid of it. So I'm pulling.
Well, he's getting married.
Well, to this Courtney Pogue.
Yeah, she'd like to have it trimmed.
Well, she says she doesn't really care, but I think she would like it.
She does. Believe me.
Women don't really. That's a real scruffy beard.
I have a pulse on that situation.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it's like you can't find his face now. It's gotten so big, and I love Justin Turner.
It's just stupid.
But he's a signature, and I get it. And I love JT, but it is a little.
Are we stuck with that now? I mean,
no, he's going to shave it if the Dodgers win the World Series.
What if they don't? I mean,
I don't know.
He's got to play it out.
He's been leading the league most of the year in batting. He's doing great. So
no, he's great.
She said something. She said there might be some weight to it. So that's a comment that she might want it off.
Well,
she's
does.
talking about weight.
She's trying to be very, very polite.
She said it might throw off his mechanics. And I'm sure that players worry about that. Did you ever grow a beard or something and get sort of worried that if you shaved it off, things are going to change? Or
no,
something?
I ran home one night when I realized I caught myself in a reflection in a restaurant in a window.
Seriously?
I'm serious, and it just hit me. This is stupid. I ran home that night and whacked it.
You did? That was it?
That's it. Enough.
Your beard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's enough.
And so I decided to go on a diet after I saw myself. I thought a guy was robbing my house one night, and it was just the picture of my Ring doorbell, and it was taking a picture of me, and I thought, who's that guy? This guy looks like he's ready to rob my house, and I realized it was me, and I thought,
you need a Rottweiler, buddy.
Drop some weight. So I'm now on a diet. Yeah, after seeing yourself, if you scare yourself on your own Ring doorbell, then that tells you're a little bit out of what you perceive as your look. When you look at it yourself in shorts, flip-flops, and a T-shirt, you scare yourself, think you're breaking into your own house. That's a problem. It happened to me.
That's a big problem.
It could happen to you. Be careful.
You gotta watch out.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Seekers of luscious and appetizing gustatorial pursuits, indulge your fancies with steaks so absolutely yum-yum. Vegetarians have forsaken kale and Pilates and never look back. Fish specialties so fresh and delicious and chosen by King Neptune himself, and relish Columbo's Italian family specialties so delectable you'll be yelling out, bravo, bravo! And let's not forget Columbo's world-famous meatballs, and you've got to try their breakfast pizza. Oh, and jazz every night. Service that's friendly, not phoning, and at a price that'll keep you coming back. That's Columbo's, that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, Manja.
How old are you? 25, 35, 50, or older? If you have pain, we can help. Do your knees hurt?
Ow!
Let me ask you again. Are your knees killing you?
Oh, yeah. Are they ever?
What about your back? When you bend over, does it feel like this? How about when you get out of bed in the morning? If you're like me, your knees and back feel like this.
Oh, that hurts.
I found a company called the Pain Relief Hotline. They specialize in ways to treat your knee, back, and neck pain without surgery or taking medications. The good news is if you have insurance, you may have little or no cost or out-of-pocket expense. I've used them. It works. Call the Pain Relief Hotline now for free information. 800-309-2677. 800-309-2677. Call now. 800-309-2677. That's 800-309-2677.
If you're eligible for Medicare, you need to know there is money available to you that can lower your Medicare prescription costs. How much can you save? Find out now by making a free call to Health Markets. They'll search from a variety of nationally recognized plans to find you the right coverage at a price that fits your budget. And they'll do all this valuable research for you at no charge to you. And remember, you may be able to save money on your prescriptions. We'll tell you if you qualify. Why pay a penny more than you have to for an insurance policy? Let us find you the right plan at the right price and see if you qualify to lower your prescription costs. Put our free service to work for you at no charge. Call Health Markets right now.
800-990-0351. 800-990-0351. 800-990-0351. That's 800-990-0351.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., licensed in all 50 states and D.C. Service and product availability varies by state. Agents may be compensated based on your enrollment.
We are back in the Sports Lounge. Show has been flying by this week. I'm Michael Horn, the star of our show, the one and only Fred Dreyer. Yes, that Fred Dreyer, football legend, acting legend.
Thank you.
All right, so Fred, you've been around football most of your life here. So what would you do on this collective bargaining agreement? The players want guaranteed contracts. If I'm an owner, I don't. What would you do? What would be your solution?
Well, my instinct is, which is not tied to what I think the reality is, but my instinct would be for the owners to sit down and for the first time only, sit down and say, you got 2 years left on your collective bargaining agreement. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to renegotiate the contract. We're going to tear up the last 2 years. But here's what we're going to do. we're going to have everything open for renegotiation. That means terms and conditions. You guys want to get paid guaranteed money, want $50 million guaranteed of a $50 million contract instead of 38 and break it down that way? Okay, let's just talk about this. We're going to now we're going to make you play 4 preseason games, but you're going to come in 4 weeks early. You're going to have 2-a-days for 10 days. That's 20 practices. You're going to have 2-a-days. You're going to hit. You're going to learn how to tackle. And then we're going to have rules such as you're not going to have your hair hanging down to your waist. That's a rule.
I'm with you on
That's a rule because that's a safety rule.
Yep.
And it's also an aesthetic rule that I think the league has to now stand up and start having standards about how they present their product to the people. Nobody wants to see that.
No kneeling, right?
Yeah, and if you got a personal politic, register it at the gate, leave it there, and show up and don't embarrass. You know,
Follow team
John
rules.
Madden had one rule.
What was that?
He only had 2 rules, actually. He says, don't embarrass me or don't embarrass your organization, and, show up on time and do your work. And that's it. Other than that, you got to be a good citizen and know how to reason things out. And if you don't, you're gone. And
I'm with you on
and that was the rule across the board in the 70s and the 80s, and it was good enough then for people and the fans and television. It's good enough for them now.
Fred Dreyer available for interviews on any sports show in the country with that comment. That's what needs to be doing. We do in football and professional sports. Now, NBA's in a problem here. Last story of this segment here is apparently, the NBA's investigating the Lakers for maybe potentially tampering with Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. Allegations reportedly stemming when Magic Johnson was on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show in April, and apparently George was still under contract with the Pacers when the Lakers president of basketball operations, Magic Johnson, transparently courted him in the interview with Jimmy Kimmel, apparently angering the Pacers owner. So Kimmel asked, he said, what would consider tampering? And so Magic said, we're going to say hi because we know each other. He said, if I ran into George, but you can't say, hey, I want you to come to the Lakers even though I'm going to be winking. He says, you know what that means. What do you think about all this?
I think it's much ado about nothing. It's more crap, and it's more reason to spread a negative narrative, and there's nothing to it.
So you think the NBA investigation will go on, but they won't find anything, or they think
no? They'll say, "What are you guys doing? Come on, knock it off," and then they'll move on.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking they would do.
Yeah.
All right, so there you have it. I kind of like your idea on solving football better than your comments on that story. Robert Lee, you have a comment on that? What would you do?
I may tell you something. That's a touchdown if I've ever seen one. Might tell you that.
Maybe I'll stay
with
with
that Kentucky Fried Chicken. Where's that bucket of chicken?
I think I'll maybe stay with the show because Robert Lee, I've just heard ESPN is going to transfer you to another team next week.
Not again.
Just don't go to the South because your name Robert Lee, even though you're a fine Asian broadcaster, I'm telling you, they are confusing you with the great General Robert.
I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to tell you that.
Follow Fred on Twitter, Fred_Dreyer, Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dreyer. And by all means, send him an email, FredDreyer@CRNTalk.com. And check out his website, FredDreyer.co. Get his Highway 395 movie, FredDreyer.co.
Enjoying all your favorite CRN programming is easier than ever. It's right on your TV, through your local cable provider, and on the web at crntalk.com. But when you're on the move, stuck in a plane, train, or in your car, catch up on all the shows you missed. Or listen live to your favorites. Download our CRN app from your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Just search for CRN Digital Talk Radio. Or search for your favorite CRN shows on apps like iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, AHA Radio, uTunes, and Nobex. Now you have access to all of our great shows anywhere in the world and the ability to be part of them by calling our toll-free